From the WKYC studios, this is What's Next.
Good evening. Glad you're here with us tonight. I'm Lena Lai, joining you from home. And we start with today's top coronavirus headlines. The city of Cleveland tonight is reporting 25 new confirmed cases of the virus, bringing the latest total to over 1,300. And the new cases have an age range from children under 10 years old to patients in their 80s. Hundreds of protesters outside of California's state capitol today against stay-at-home orders from the governor. Protesters waved flags and signs. Few wore masks in an area where there was little room for social distancing. The NCAA has extended its restart date to all Division I sports. That means Division I student athletes in all sports can resume voluntary on-campus workouts beginning June 1st. Earlier this week, the NCAA said only football and basketball athletes would only be allowed on campus in a limited capacity. Well, tonight, many places across America are welcoming back summer this weekend. And like so many others, it is the first time in months that people are venturing out in society, and many are nervous about doing so. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
This Memorial Day weekend, more parks, beaches, and businesses are open across the country than have been in months as states try to jumpstart their ailing economies. Among those getting some R&R over the holiday weekend, President Trump, who visited one of his golf courses Saturday for the first time in 75 days. But it's evident things are still far from normal.
This is a whole different environment, a whole different Memorial Day, a whole different world, really, that we're in.
It's the world of COVID-19, where Americans' desire to get out of their homes is testing social distancing guidelines designed to slow the virus's spread.
So don't underestimate this virus. We know that it can rear its ugly head at any moment.
The news is good in New York, the nation's hardest hit state, where the number of daily coronavirus deaths dropped to less than 100 for the first time in months.
84 is still a tragedy, no doubt. But the fact that it's down as low as it is really overall good news.
But infections are still on the rise in some states. Quiet airports and roads with light traffic show many people aren't willing to risk it just yet.
I have no plans. I'm not going anywhere.
And for those hoping to watch live sports from home, Saturday brought encouraging news. The NBA is in talks with Walt Disney World to house all its teams and play all games at the Florida theme park starting in late July. Chris Pallone, NBC News, New York.
In Ohio, churches were never closed by the state. Many offered virtual services during the stay-at-home order instead. But now churches and other places of worship are getting ready for in-person services to resume. The Cleveland Catholic Diocese will start slowly by welcoming back parishioners for weekly Mass on Monday. At St. Raphael's in Bay Village, there will be staggered seating in every other pew. Childcare will not be offered, and all areas of the church will be cleaned after every service. Even the sermon will be different.
So we're going to celebrate. I mean, that's the big thing. I don't know what my sermon's going to be, but it's going to be a celebration, and we're going to celebrate what God is doing still in the midst of all of this.
Yes, in the Methodist Conference, Bishop Tracy Malone has not opened services, but is allowing small groups such as Bible studies, committees, and office functions to meet in person. Now, some restrictions are still in place in Ohio. Businesses must have employees wear face coverings, do frequent cleaning, and maintain 6 feet of social distancing among workers and customers. Mass gatherings like concerts and sporting events are still not allowed, although Governor DeWine said that is under review. Wedding receptions with social distancing up to 300 people will be allowed starting June 1st. So what's next to reopen in Ohio? Gyms and fitness centers and pools can open Tuesday, May 26th. Also, all BMV locations will be open for business. However, Lieutenant Governor John Husted recommends doing as much as you can online since deadlines for expired licenses and tags have been pushed back at least 90 days. Also on Tuesday, you can play or practice low contact or no contact sports. Coming up, some other stories of the day, including a happy ending to the search for a missing Ohio team. But first, let's check the forecast. A first look at the forecast with Matt.
Well, hi there, Lena. A good Saturday evening to you, everybody. What a day across Northeast Ohio today. We had the warmer temperatures, we had manageable humidity, but that's all going to change. We've got some summer-like humidity and temperatures, and that means some thunderstorms as well. We'll time out the next 10 days for you coming up.
What's Next is sponsored by the Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home.
Developing tonight, Euclid police are investigating 3 separate deadly crashes on I-90. The first involved a 43-year-old man from Cleveland Heights overnight. He died after losing control of his motorcycle on a curve on Route 2. The second accident killed a 26-year-old man from Strongsville. Police believe he was standing in traffic on I-90 near Babbitt Road when he was hit by a passing car and he was killed. Then shortly after that, a 24-year-old Richmond Heights woman was also hit along I-90 in the same area. Anyone who saw these accidents or has information is asked to call Euclid police. 6 people escaped a fire at their home on Cleveland's east side. The fire actually started at the vacant house next door around 6 this morning on Ambler Street. But then the flames quickly spread to the home next door where there were people inside. Firefighters helped them to evacuate. The vacant house was gutted by the fire. Volunteers gathered near the Center Street Bridge in downtown Cleveland today looking for a missing Westlake man. Police say 39-year-old Caleb Marple was last seen late Sunday evening leaving the Barley House restaurant on West 6th. Search teams were hoping to find him or any clues.
Our hopes are that we find him today and that he is okay and that we're able to bring him home. We're not looking for a body, we're looking for him.
If you know where Caleb Marple is, call Cleveland police. Well, the 18-year-old girl from the Cincinnati area who had been missing for nearly a week has been found safe. The sheriff's department says Madison Bell was located and she is okay. Police were alerted to her disappearance after her car was found in a church parking lot with her keys and phone still inside. No other details on where she was or how she was found have been released. Still to come, a one-man marathon and proof that true friendship always endures during challenging times. Stay with us. Hey, how is this for friendship? A local man ran a marathon today, raising money for his mentor who is battling cancer. It is proof that when some hard times hit, friends come running, quite literally. Chris Wensler and Mike Scanlon met 15 years ago at John Carroll University. Wensler, the sports information director at John Carroll, is battling an incurable blood cancer called multiple myeloma. He was diagnosed 2 years ago, and Wensler is still on the job after 30 years, mentoring more than 300 students who've worked in his office. One of those students is Scanlon, who now works with Wensler. Recently, Scanlon trained for the Buffalo Marathon to raise money for Wensler's medical bills. That race was scrapped, so he ran his own marathon here in town.
You know, Chris is a very selfless guy with an incredible work ethic. You know, his example is why we're all doing this kind of thing, because we all want to be like him, and you know, he needs our help. I would say, yeah, cancer definitely picked the wrong family, and hopefully today we can show people that you know, there's good in the world, and there's hope, and there's optimism.
Yes, there is. Scanlon took off from the Wensler home in University Heights. We caught up with him a few times on his route just a couple of hours before his big finish in Bay Village. And guess who was there to record him crossing it? Yep, his longtime buddy, Chris Wensler.
I was a wave of emotion. There was a wave of emotions going through my mind this morning, especially. And I counted down the hours. It's unbelievable to even talk about because there's so much. If everything was right, and everything was supposed to be right until this COVID-19 epidemic, we should be at West Point right now, graduated, having tossed our hats in the air.
Well, that's Jeff Reffert. second lieutenant in the Army and a North Ridgeville resident, talking about what was supposed to be his graduation celebration today from the prestigious West Point Military Academy. A ceremony was still held today, but it was done virtually because of the pandemic. Refford is one of 5 West Point graduates from the Cleveland area, and how about his love of country? We're told that Refford walks the neighborhood and salutes every American flag every day. And he has an amazing story to share. He was adopted from Russia as a baby and enlisted in the Army Reserves at age 17 because he wanted to give back to a country that gave him a home. A formal ceremony is now planned for June 13th with President Trump serving as commencement speaker. Well, we want to give a senior shout out to Miriam Stanley. Miriam is an honors graduate of Walsh Jesuit High School. Miriam has been a 4-year member of the school's marching and jazz bands. Her best accomplishment is training her dog Shamrock as a therapy dog who shares with special needs students. Miriam will be attending Kent State University, majoring in zoology in the fall. You can send us your senior shout outs on WKYC.com/senior shoutouts. Well, it was a beautiful day to get outside. It's only going to get warmer. Meteorologist Matt Wins joins us live now from his home. And hey, Matt, I made it to this newscast.
Yeah, Lena, if you wouldn't have the kids streaming 24 hours a day, you wouldn't hit that data overage. Everything unsettled there?
No. It was the TVU unit. It was the cell phone towers that went down. Who knows? Technology.
Oh. Yeah, it's just one of those days. Well, I missed you, trust me, so I'm really glad you're back. It has been a transition day today. I don't think anyone's complaining. We went from the colder atmosphere we had earlier this week. We went to the 70s today, and then tomorrow we are way up into the 80s, and we're going to stay in the 80s with some humidity. So I did a little digging on the first 80-degree day. We have not had one yet this year in the Cleveland area. Akron, you hit one last week, but Cleveland has not hit 80. And if we hit 80 tomorrow, which we pretty much will, this is going to be the latest first 80 degrees since 2006. That's quite a while ago. I thought that was just a couple years ago, but no, time flies. And it will actually be the 3rd latest since the 1930s, so 80 plus years. And it's only been 2 times that we've had a later first 80. So how about that? A cool spring for sure. Your forecast preview for tomorrow looks like this. Partly cloudy skies, more humid tomorrow morning. You'll feel it will be in the 60s. A couple pop-up showers and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. Get used to that in the forecast, as no rhyme or reason. We may see some with a lake breeze, but we're in the 80s. Temperatures tonight, you're starting to feel that uptick. It's not going to be muggy tonight. It's going to be pretty comfortable still. We're in the 60s for most of us. We may see some upper 50s on the board. I think most of us settle in the low 60s. The humidity, not quite here yet. It's humid outside, but it's manageable. We've measured that with the dew points. When they're near 60, you feel the air. When they're way up into the 60s, that's when you really start to feel the air. Look at the dew points around the country, though. We've got a whole area of warm, humid air heading in here. That has triggered some severe storms, even tornadoes back in areas of Illinois. Some of those storms that I'm watching head through northern Indiana, still packing a punch, but they should fade. We may see some leftover showers from that in the morning, but they should move out quickly. But look at the picture across the country. You can see the heat causing all those showers and thunderstorms to really bubble up as we go throughout the afternoons, and that's what we are going to be dealing with. National Design Mart Hour by our forecast, maybe a spotty shower. You see the model picking up on that across the lakeshore counties tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we have partly cloudy skies. We're in the 80s tomorrow, a nice south wind. That humidity really pumping in may trigger some additional showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Those will go away tomorrow night. Monday for Memorial Day, we do it all over again. A muggy start. We'll be up into the mid-80s with humidity, may trigger a couple showers and storms. I think they'll be few and far between, comparatively speaking. And then after that, look what happens. This ridge really builds in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but then we finally get some refreshing air in here on Saturday and Sunday before that ridge builds back to our west. The muggy meter keeps the humidity here. You'll notice it tomorrow. You'll really notice it Memorial Day, and refreshing air next Friday, Saturday. Actually, it looks really nice next Friday and Saturday. Universal Windows Direct 10-day forecast looks like this. Mid-80s with humidity over the course of the week with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Best chance of storms on Thursday, refreshing for the weekend, and we get pretty comfortable as we go into the latter half of the next weekend. We'll be back with Nick after the break.
Memorial Day weekend is a big tradition on Put-in-Bay and a kickoff to summer, but with restaurants and bars only recently reopening, there were fears that this year could be a bust. But as Andrew Horansky discovered tonight, it was quite the opposite.
There might be a pandemic, but that didn't stop the party on Put-in-Bay. Performers such as DJ A-Dub back on stage after months off.
When they said that, I said, it's going down. I informed everybody on Facebook and every kind of social media,
letting them know the island was alive.
So it's so nice to bring the normalcy back, it seems that way.
Well, a lot looked different. Pools and hot tubs closed with yellow tape surrounding them. Fewer tables at bars, more people sitting, no dancing. No way into Perry's Memorial. Lots at the campground spaced out and sold out.
And I hope people keep coming.
Jessica C. Dress is Put-in-Bay's mayor.
We were looking at budget cuts. We'll still be looking at those, but I'm not quite as on edge about them as I was before.
Because just a few weeks ago, no one really knew what the weekend would look like. The Put-in-Bay Visitors and Convention Bureau telling us it was only when the governor opened things up that rooms filled up, leading to their biggest one-day total ever in reservations.
We're really busy. We're sold out. We have no rooms available today.
Bar owner Andrew Christensen hopeful it means a good summer. Another good sign, all his staff came back.
This weekend shows that people do trust us to take care of them and make sure that they're safe and show them a good time and make sure that they get home okay.
Still, we didn't see a lot of mask wearing. Ferries remain on a limited schedule. To a place, though, very much back in business. Well, police tell me they have also seen a rise in people behaving badly on the island. In the past week, a lieutenant tells me that they've issued 63 violations. Last summer, he said there were 193, blaming the bad behavior on people who maybe haven't been out in a while, getting a little too loose. I'm Andrew Horansky, 3 News.
This sports report is sponsored by the people-pleasing people at Sarah Auto Park in Akron.
Welcoming you back here to the Camino Kitchen. It was pizza night here at the Camino, so you know we ate well. I hope you did too. All right, let's get you caught up with what's been happening in the world of sports. We've been talking a lot about dates. Well, now we have locations. We have venues. Let's start with the NBA. They are going to go with the Bubble City approach. We had talked a lot about Las Vegas being with this, but according to multiple reports, the NBA is hoping to restart its season at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex down in Orlando, Florida. Players and staff will be tested often. Every team will be down in Orlando. Late July, no fans. That's the latest proposal right now. To Major League Baseball, what's the big holdup here, right? Let's get baseball going. I'll tell you what the holdup is. It's money between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. They can't seem to agree right now. That could change on Tuesday, though. MLB will officially issue a formal financial proposal to the MLB Players Association, similar to the NBA. Frequent testing, empty ballparks initially, but hey, time to start playing baseball, right? Nobody wants to see millionaires fighting billionaires for the almighty dollar. Let's get this figured out, guys. As for the Tribe is concerned, Terry Francona was asked by The Athletic whether a shortened season would have an asterisk next to the World Series champion. Tito said, quote, "If our guys are jumping on a pile at the end of the year, I don't give a blank where we play or when we play or who we play." End of quote. That is textbook Tito right there. So it'll be great when we have baseball back. Hopefully it's sooner than later. And Lena, I know Matt checked on you earlier in the show. I'm just making sure. Are you still there? Hello? Are you still there?
Yeah, you're real funny. Don't jinx it. Even we still have a few seconds left. Now Terry Francona actually said blank. What did he? Blank?
Well, he said another word I can't say here on TV, okay?
I know. Thanks so much, Nick. And thank you so much for joining us. SNL is next. Have a great evening. Good night.